Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you, and the headline of the news reads: Hate speech bill, senators form alliance. Alright, but before we go on with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube. Alright, let's look at the news in detail. The stage may have been set to shoot down the controversial hate speech and social media bill pending in the Senate. This is coming as a group of senators under the aegis of Senators Against Hate Speech and Social Media Bill was formed at the weekend. One of the arrowheads of the group revealed the resolve of members to kill what he called the two obnoxious bills. Members of the groups are said to be from the main opposition People Democratic Party and a few others from the ruling All Progressive Congress APC. The sponsors of the bill are alleged to have assembled demonstrators in preparation for them to go for a National Assembly gate to support them before or during the public hearing. It was also learned that money may exchange hands to lure senators to back the bills. The arrowhead said members of the group were aware that consideration of the bill would be accorded top priority at the resumption of the Senate on January 28, 2020. And according to them, he says, "We are resolved to shoot down this bill because it is obvious that Nigerians are against the proposed legislation. We are already mobilizing like-minded senators, so we know our membership, which cut across party lines. From all indication, the number is growing by the day. We also know that the sponsors and other hidden hands behind the bills are working behind the scene to push through the bill. We are sensing the hand of Esau and the voice of Jacob in the proposed legislation. It is obvious that the backlash of passing the bill will be too heavy for the Senate to contend with. Already the 9th Senate is battling with an image problem. Nigerians of all walks of life have spoken. We don't represent ourselves," he said. The controversial hate speech bill titled National Commission for the Prohibition of Hate Speeches Establishment Bill 2019 was sponsored by Deputy Chief Whip Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi representing the Niger North. The bill scaled first reading in the Senate on November 12, 2019. The bill proposed that a person who uses, publishes, presents, produces, play, provide, distribute, and or direct the performance of any material, written and or visual, which is threatening, abusive, or insulting, or involving the use of threatening, abusive, or insulting words or behavior, has committed an offense. It added that the charge will be justified if such a person intends to state off ethnic hatred, and the person who commits an offense under this section shall be liable to life imprisonment, on where the act causes any loss of life. The person should be punished with death by hanging, the bill stated. The social media bill titled Protection from Internet Falsehood and Manipulation Bill 2019 was sponsored by Mohammed Sani Musa representing Niger East. It was passed for the second reading on Wednesday, November 20, 2019. Senator Abdullahi and Musa are APC members. The bill has since met with opposition from cross-sections of Nigerians, but Abdullahi promised that the death penalty clause in the proposed legislation will be amended before the bill is passed. Senate President Ahmed Lawan said Nigerians would finally decide if the bill will be passed or not. Addressing reporters to mark his 6th month in office before the Christmas break, Lawan said, "There is no way we can, or for example, pass into law something that will be inimical to the people of Nigeria. No, we can't. But we will do everything possible to ensure that we legislate on what we will make life better for Nigerians, and we have shown the signs so far. If you say the hate speech bill should not pass when they would conduct the public hearing, get as many people against the bill as possible to attend the public hearing and make their case. Senate spokesperson Godiya Akwashiki could not be reached for his reaction as his phones were switched off. And that's the news. Quite a troubling time for Nigerian, especially the citizenry of Nigeria, owing to the fact that they're about to roll out a bill, pass into law a bill that may a kind of padlock the mouths of Nigerians, which is the only weapon that we have been using thus far in ensuring that things are not done, in ensuring that things are done rightly. If you look at what has been spoken of right in there, as I read out, you will see clearly that the definition of the hate speech is to put a padlock in the mouth of anyone who is not comfortable with the government. How can you be talking if, for example, now I realize that in your government, the only people that are, in quote, fortunate to be given an appointment are only people from your geopolitical zone. And I now said, hey, I'm not comfortable with this thing. How can you be appointing everybody from your geopolitical zone, into your cabinet? That's a hate speech, because according to them in here, they said hate speech is trying to trigger any form of, anger in the hearts with ethnicity sentiment. You're trying to ignite anger in the hearts of people. If, for example, the government is not running the show as I expected, and I said, hey, I don't like the way you are running this show. This show that the way you are doing this thing is not favorable to the people. Automatically, anyone who sees it will like, hey, man, this is true. How can you people treat us like this? How can you automatically, it will be classified as hate speech. So which therefore means it is intended to shut down the people and say, don't talk. Whatever we do, you accept it, whether it is good for you or it is not good for you. So such bill everything that must be done to ensure that you bring it down must be put in place. Just like the senator has said, and which Nigerians have already started talking about in the case of, making sure that they hire some boys, just like they did in the case of Sore and the case of Deji Adeyanju. We saw some people who were mad-like in attitude, people who were not there they don't even have an understanding of what was happening. All what they came there to do was, just like wild dogs, whatever their master tells them to do, that's what they will do, and that was what they were coming to do. So it is very true that on that said day, they may, during the period, the day of the public hearing, certainly they will hire people who beforehand, maybe by 7 o'clock, you see a crowd of area boys carrying a play card or hoodlums, playing cards and all of that. Kill them. And if anybody tries to say no to it, they may beat up the person, mob the person, that's the plan. So right now, I think what the people in the House, that's the senators in the House who are against this hate speech bill and the social media bill, what they're trying to do, it's really been supported by Nigerians. And I think those who are resident in Abuja, that's during the public hearing, no matter what happened, all the NGOs, they need to come together and step out to see how we can oppose this bill and shut it down once and for all. Already, if you look at the trend, how things have been going on in Nigeria, that bill is already working. If you look at the way some of the arrests that has been effected, that bill is already working. And so we need to see how the importance of social media cannot be overstated. It's too important. It's too important. Look at the case of a woman who, was maltreating a young boy. He was maltreating a young girl. I don't know if it was a girl or boy, but a young child, beat up the child. It was social media that brought the thing to light. And immediately, the security operatives jumped into action. She was arrested. We've seen cases like this. Now, if you want to regulate the social media, it therefore means that the people will not even have the right to say anything. Everything that you want to say is what will be on the social media. And this is not just it.
Let's break it a bit practical. That arrest that took place in the court in front of where they were trying to pick up Sowore, if there was no social media, where I noticed one person particularly. He didn't interrupt the whole whatever. His phone was alive, strong. He was just filming the whole scenario. He didn't talk. When anybody talks, he was filming the whole scenario. Just uploaded it on the social media. And what we kept on saying was retweet. We kept on, the video went viral. It was on that grounds of the video that you saw the likes of Senator Bob Menendez react. If you say it's not so, if you say that DSS did not rearrest, what then happened in the video we just saw? Exactly. That is not censored. Yes. It was not doctored. It was not edited. So who is forging what? You say, no, DSS is not in our custody. Then who took this guy away from the court? So the importance of social media, if it is being shut down, and there's no need, you're now slaves in your own country. Exactly. That's what it means. Because the person who's uploading it is scared. The one who will share is going to die. In fact, you can't even just imagine it. You can't. It's not unimaginable, really. And
I know there's senators that will go against it. We already know such senators who will go. Like that one, is it Ababuru? That one that beat up somebody, it was through social media.
Yeah, in fact, he's the second.
Yeah, it was through social media that everybody, Abba, whatever. It was through social media that his bad attitude was spread everywhere. Then I'm not even saying anything about that his case again. The thing has died a natural death.
Yes, as usual.
Imagine how he slapped that girl, and if not that social media had to. That was when he now got his consciousness back and started begging and all of that. So these are the things that Nigerians need to wake up and see how we can, support the annihilation of this social media, so that at the end of the day, we will not be regretting.
My worst fear, actually, is not that Nigerians don't have a voice. It's the fact that on that day, you'll be amazed the level of miscreants that will be there.
That's the fear.
The placards they will carry, I can bet you they don't even know what is written on it.
Exactly. Call one of them and say,
they don't know what is written on it.
That's how we can know.
All they know is on that day they will take enough tramadol so that they'll be very energetic.
Yes.
And if you talk anyhow, because they're already induced, they can slap somebody.
Yes.
So even if when you call all these NGOs to come out to say let them support, you have to be careful. So what happened in Adeyanju's time, when they beat Adeyanju, even though the right to protest will not happen, at the end of the day, that public hearing may be cut short because of so much, rioting, rancor, quarrel. The police will have to take over and they'll cut it short. So they will now do in-house. Whatever comes out is now our choice. It will now be say, but to now be based on the fact that we couldn't conclude public hearing and there seem to be more people who are in support. Nigerians. And posterity will not be good on the ninth Senate if the voice of the people is not heard. Because the truth of the matter is, I could still remember Aisha Buhari say something about that the social media should be curbed because so much things are being churned that Nigeria should take cue from China. And I say to her, if we are taking cue from China, we must take all the cue from China. Yes. China in question here have laws and orders binding on corrupt leaders. Have there been laws changed, amended to bind our corrupt leaders? Where there is an action, there's an equal reaction. What is making people to scream and yell on social media is because of the actions that we see that causes an equal reaction from the people. Every day we keep hearing the number of money looted by the day. In the days of Jonathan, monies were looted in millions. We were shouting, yay, millions, say, yay, Nigerian treasury. Now millions are small kobo. If that one is kobo now, what is millions? You still millions, you're small, but please shift behind. Let EFCC look for people who are taking the money in billions. Who knows? Before 2023, we'll be talking in trillions. And it's pathetic. We keep borrowing, they keep looting, and you're talking about gagging the mouth of the people. The last resort the people have, which is the social media. Let's start from the root. When you want to deal a thing, go to the roots. Let's deal with the corrupt leaders. Then when you deal with the corrupt leaders, then you don't have any excuse. Yes. I'm not saying that fake news doesn't come up, but as usual, when fake news comes up, there are laws already enshrined in our constitution that deals on fake news. You deal with such persons, accordingly. But for social media, it is absolutely not right. That is taking democracy from the mouth of the people. That means no man can talk. Because when you see the looting, you see that you want to report that kind of thing. You say, well, the politicians have taken what belongs to them. Thank you. You can't even say, loot. You want to die? So let's forget, even if they want to pad, because next thing they will do, want to pad the bill by not putting death penalty. They may put it, they may put it like 20 years imprisonment or 10 years imprisonment. So they will remove that death by hand. We don't even want anyone. Allow the freedom to flow. But if there are false news, then the law should take its full course. But I fear that there will be hired miscreants on that day.
All right, thank you very much. You've spoken well. You've spoken my heartbeat, and would like to leave it there. Please go to our comment section. This is more sensitive than any other issue. I think that we have to, see how we can retreat and we can talk more about it and support those senators who are saying no to hate speech bill, no to social media regulatory bill. That's where we're going to wrap it up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon.